In its natural habitat, the Akimbo² lays peacefully undisturbed, enjoying the wonders of Marlow Maverick. But where there is new gear, curious climbers are sure to follow. And it seems the climber has found exactly that. Let's sit back and observe how the arboreal arborist chooses his most proficient climbing companion. It seems there is a clear winner, as he is overwhelmingly attracted to the flashy newcomer in his territory. Watch how he exudes primal joy at the beat of his chest.
That's right, everyone. If you couldn't tell from my excitement just a moment ago, we finally have it in-house right here with me. Rock Exotica, Akimbo² is in the house, all right? Now, this is gonna be my initial review after having climbed on the device for about 2.5-ish months. I have been trying to put it through the ringer as much as I can to find the flaws, to find all the positives to it, because it's a fantastic device. And this is my initial review. Later on down the road, we'll hit on another review to see if it still holds up to what we're doing today. Okay, but let's get started. So first things first, the size comparison. You have size Akimbo² here and Akimbo² on my left, right? So as you can tell, it's slightly bigger, right? We did see a lot of online chatter that was going on. Oh, the Akimbo is that much bigger. I liked it because it was that much smaller. It condensed my system down so much that when I'm on spar work or during my ascents, I don't have this big, bulky, clunky device. Well, let me tell you right now, this device is still fits in the palm of your hand, still pretty lightweight. There's really nothing clunky about it, okay? So size-wise, the lever arms both were elongated out and the spine lengthened out by just a bit of a hair, okay? Next thing you see on this thing, they didn't do anything with the chest attachment piece for chest tending as you go up on stationary rope system, and that's for a good reason. It's a safety factor that not many people think about, even though some people might find it to be quite annoying, which I used to do myself, but I've learned to adapt my climbing style to the device and made it work for me. Now I know that is not an option for everybody. You want it to be there, you don't want it to detach, even if you need to take a break. And they did give you a second tending point, right? Well, where is it? Okay, I don't see it. Well, let me tell you right now. The main attachment point for the harness hookup was made slightly bigger, larger, rounder, wider, so that it can now house, while loaded and connected, it can still house, or now house, a mini carabiner for the chest tending point, okay? So that's if you want to have a straight up hard connect. They've given you that option rather than getting rid of their spring and easy detach method. Second thing, spring placement, okay? Spring placement on Akimbo² we have located at the upper cam, or on the upper lever arm. You have that cam up top. It's got the spring on the inside, spring in the back up. Well, that has now been removed. On the Akimbo² you have a fixed cam in position, all right? This cam, from my understanding, it was made fixed with no spring. It should help with ropes when they've got some sap, some pitch to it, okay? So that is for that purpose right there. So, well, where did they place the spring now, right? Because you need to have a spring in there to help activate and keep the rope in place. Well, rather than having it down low in this cam, if you would, right, if you are familiar with rope runners, the bird has a spring on the back along that spine. So same concept here, or same placement. Spring is now located in this rivet point, or inside this area. And if I pull down and up, it springs up, okay? What this does, as we all know, going up on a stationary rope system, line is taut under tension. The Akimbo² would travel down. Now with the Akimbo² because the rope or the spring is now placed upward, or placed in that specific spot, it kinks it up allowing the device to stay in place. Where, okay, we'll do a little quick comparison here just so you can see what I'm talking about. So if I have a rope taut and I was moving and I was hooked up, this thing, shake, 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 okay, travels down. With the Akimbo², if I'm here and I'm doing this, it's just spinning on the rope. It's not traveling down. That spring is preventing it from coming down the rope, down low. Okay, where is this important? It actually, on your initial ascent up, especially during long ascents, right, especially, you're going up and you need to take a break. Because it happens, super long ascents will fatigue you out every once in a while. You sit, detach from the main point, now you're ready to go, so you stand back up and the rope is put under tension. Now you're trying to hook everything up, and then you have this Akimbo down low, where if you sat back on accident and you didn't realize that, now you're gonna drop and you have the possibility of a lockout with your ascenders. With that, you don't. Okay, so that's the main reason there, and it's always a pain in the butt when you had to hold steady, ascender on, and then you gotta try and hook up, right? It was annoying, but this did fix that. And now my biggest thing that I do enjoy about this Akimbo² is the ropes you can pair with it. Okay, as we know with the Akimbo², you have an approved rope list of categorized into 220-pound working limit and a 285 or 286 working load limit on the second category. Well, with the Akimbo², that rope list is out of the way, okay? You now have an approved rope diameter range. And what's the range? 11.5 to 12.7. That's right, I can grab an 11.5, try and get it to work with that. If not, okay, whatever. We adjust our settings, because the settings are still the same. Settings are the same. And another thing too that has changed, before I get really ahead of myself, let's get to the new changes, is these side plates right here, these cheek plates that have the Rock Exotica logo, the Akimbo² expert use only, they are made slightly beefier, chunkier, thicker, okay? And the reason for that too is just so they can recess all these pins, nuts, and bolts into place so that it's a little bit sleeker. You don't have really anything protruding out, and it makes it, it's a nice detail. It's very nice. It's attention to detail, right? Very beautifully done. Now, from my understanding, I do believe that the cams will be replaceable. I will have to double check though. But from what I have gathered, there are going to be replaceable pieces for the Akimbo². Stay tuned. All right, so here I have two ropes. I have Marlowe Maverick right here, and I have Kurant Kalimba. Both of these are right now at the moment my primary climbing lines that I like to go back and forth from. Now I know from experience my Akimbo² runs very beautifully on this. I have it dialed in for my weight, my rope, and my climbing style. Now I actually went and found something that with the Akimbo², the same settings did not apply. So with that spring changed, with that spring placement moved, it does react differently. So with this here, I actually have to open up my cams all the way for my climbing style. And now I'm not saying that do it this way, right? Don't open up your cams. How do you test the Akimbo, right? How do you test it? Low, slow, on the ground. For me personally, I weigh about 150 pounds, and I think I just don't have enough oomph to collapse the Akimbo easily. So that's why I probably have to work a little bit harder, open up my cams, and allows me to descend smoother in a work scenario, work setting, where if I was trying to just go a little bit quicker, my Marlowe Maverick would do the trick. But honestly, how do we check your lever arms, right? And the manual, all the instructions are still the same, or with a few changes to it. So I always recommend reading the user manual, and it gives you a full breakdown of do's and don'ts. And remember, that's pretty much a contract between you and that manufacturer. So right now, if I was to lay into the device full weight and to do a descent, if I, right now, it's a little bit too tight for this. Well, actually, it's not bad, okay? So my settings are C and 4 on kalimba. But if I had to touch the cheek plates like this, where they're both touching for a descent, then you need to stop, reconfigure your friction settings before you climb any higher, all right? That's why it's always recommended down low. You do them low, do a quick ascent, maybe a 5-foot ascent, I'll just say that. Get your butt up off the ground. And if you go in the cruise, auto control, autopilot, you may need to stop and adjust. No, not a may, you need to stop and adjust. So here, go in, locks into place, and boom, okay, so it's opened out. I can descend it, and there's still a gap when I collapse the cheek plates together, or collapse it for a descent. And now, demonstrating the attachment points for SRS. Okay, so if I was to actually go on up and begin an ascent, right, I'm gonna stand up. So with the Akimbo 1, this would have dropped immediately down low to where my ring would have been like this. With the Akimbo 2, it's still steady, right? I mentioned 1, your secondary attachment point, which is right here. You can see there's a big enough gap where I can take an accessory carabiner here and hook up. And that's still a legit 100% approved hookup from the manufacturer, all right? And if we were to go up top, it's still a legit hook. I like that better. And one of the main reasons too is your safety feature. If you applied so much weight or so much force onto this backbone, the spine of the Akimbo, you can actually cause yourself to go into an unwanted descent. And we don't want that. So for example, if I was still hooked up, hard tethered to this area, and something happened where I've introduced so much weight here, right? It drops your Akimbo and you could be in some serious trouble, right? And one more time. So right now I'm sitting, it's not traveling down, and I'm just gonna apply slight pressure here onto the back, and it causes you to go into rappel. That's the main reason why they do not get rid of that chest tending point, okay? The Rock Exotica 2 is also 23 kN minimum brake strength, okay? So that's the Akimbo Rock Exotica. Nice. We're gonna go up real quick, just do a little quick function test, run around, this, that, and the other. Let's do it. So as always before, Akimbo, super easy install. I always start from the bottom, pull a little bit of slack, and hit to the top lever arm cam, and just tend it out. Like I mentioned before, always do your load test, quick drop, and behold you, or a quick drop without having both cams touch, solid. Get that on up there. Okay, and I'm actually gonna go to the top attachment. That's where I kind of prefer. And away we go. And there's a reason why I prefer the top attachment too, so I can sit, kick my rope out with my turbo, because that's just a couple less actions I have to do physically. It just makes it efficient for me, I guess. Now here, push, spin. So Akimbo still hold me in place. I can rappel it a little bit if I need to. Going out, you still have all the same functions, right? So as you tend, it's gonna bring the system up. You do have a little bit of a roller down low. So 1, 2, keep it tight, and away we go. Now if you were to walk out, right, you're still on stationary rope system, nothing really changes, you still have your one-on-one action. If I was to come back and generate slack, the device still stays in place and it doesn't travel down at all. I physically moved it down, but you know what I'm trying to get at. So if I stand up, it doesn't travel at all, stays in place thanks to that top spring. As we go in, I'm actually going to descend a little bit as I go out because of the limb. Jump out. And once you dial your Akimbo² in, it's pretty smooth. But yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of climbing you like. I'll try not to block the Akimbo shot. Hold on. There it is. Depends on what kind of system you like, right? And just push, trying to just dial it into you to that rope, and the equipment on your harness will change how it's going to function for you. So if you've got a 500i on you, it's just that much more weight. You might have to tweak your settings, but if not, you can just jump out, have a good time, and rappel. Whee! However, this has been the Akimbo². Thanks for checking it out. Don't forget to hit that like, the subscribe. Let us know what you want us to do next or what you would like to see next. Bartlettman.com, Bartlett Arborist Supply, Google, and Bartlett Arborist Supply on the App Store. Check it out.